This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, July 15th, 2022, and the time is 6:07 p.m. Roll call.
Jason Daly,
Jason is excused. He is working tonight.
Randy Hall.
Here.
Ann McIntosh,
Ann is also excused. She had a medical appointment.
Samantha Lovelady,
Here.
Mike Parsons,
Here.
Mayor Schott.
Here. Great. Well, Lovelady, please lead us in our last flag ceremony while you're serving council.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mayor's report. Worden Park Playground. There's been some issues with some bullying and some other kids down there causing some ruckus. So we're going to be installing some security lighting down there. PUD is going to put a light up on the closest telephone pole down there, power pole, and have it angled into the park. So that should blanket the whole park with lighting and they won't be able to get to it. So that should take care of that. There's going to be a public hearing on July 28th at the City Council meeting for the 2023-2028 six-year transportation improvement program. It's an annual requirement. We have to do it every year, part of the Growth Management Act. And part of that is public hearing. There's also going to be a public hearing on August 18th at the Planning Committee meeting regarding the accessory dwelling unit standards. A reminder, the Planning Committee still has a vacancy. To get hold of City Hall if you're interested. The Deputy Clerk, Claire Winter, she did resign. So we do have a vacancy within the office. So we've been advertising for the position and we've already started some interviews. Mr. Daly was actually helping out with that interview process. So hopefully we'll have another clerk here soon that's interested and qualified. The property acquisition, the survey is set for next week, July 20th. The companies were very backed up with when they could get in to perform that work, but still within the 90-day period. The environmental assessment came back, and because of the hotel that was down there in the early 1900s, they're concerned, and on the old fire maps that we have from that time, it looks like there may have been some oil storage on site at one point. And so they'd like to do a phase 2 assessment. And so we're looking into that right now, and that would involve digging a hole in that area, and so it could take a soil sample at depth. So we're looking at that. The wastewater treatment plant outfall diffuser, if you remember, that was not part of the wastewater treatment plant upgrade that we've been completing. And so we're looking for some funds to help pay for the engineering part of that, which is a little over $100,000, $116,000. And so we've got an application in with the county right now to assist us with those engineering costs so that we don't have to front them all ourselves. There's a lot of money out there for water, sewer, and broadband with regard to ARPA money. So hopefully the county can help us out. And then number 8, that's not on there. Obviously, if anyone's driving around the City Hall and the city shop, the roofing projects are ongoing. Cascade Industrial finally got out here. Oh, they're totally done now. So drive by the city shop, you'll see it has a nice blue roof on it now, and City Hall's got a new roof as well. So, and lastly, number 9, this is Samantha's last council meeting. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet. So there's a vacancy on the city council as of after this meeting. And so council members should start thinking about who they would like to nominate to replace Ms. Lovelady. We have some great people on planning committee and on park board that may be interested, that have meeting experience already. But of course, anyone from the general public that lives within the city limits is eligible as well.
That lives in the city limits and has lived here for more than 1 year?
1 year.
1 year.
So
12 months.
elected council report.
I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
I'll say something at the end.
Oh, okay. You're gonna wait till the
I'm gonna wait till I say
elected official comment.
elected official comment, because it's not really a report.
Sounds great. Well, then moving on, council reports. Any council members have anything to report?
Well, we'll miss you.
Thank you. I'm gonna miss being here for sure. Hopefully not. Hopefully.
Hopefully for your sake, probably.
Yeah, hopefully for my sake, because moving this many kids cross country
Yeah.
will be insane. But
What kind of farm is it?
it's just 8 acres of farmland.
What do you farm? I mean,
Well, we haven't decided yet. We gotta figure that out.
you contact the federal government and find out what they'll pay you not to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you get paid something.
Being sarcastic, but true.
Not a legal state, can't grow anything fun.
Okay. Any other council reports?
No gun fun, huh?
All right, agenda approval. I do have one item to add onto the agenda. Number 8, council to elect a mayor pro tem for the remainder of the 2022-2023 biennium.
I make a motion to approve the city council agenda with the added amendment, or item number 8. Why am I confused?
I'll second. that.
Oh. What do we? I don't have to do that part. With all the voucher stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, and adding the voucher total of $203,235.89.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovely to add item number 8 to the city business and adding the voucher total to the agenda. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes approval.
I make a motion that we approve the city council meeting minutes on 6/23/22.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the meeting minutes from June 23rd. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Ms. Lovelady. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers for the beginning of July 2022 at $203,235.89.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the vouchers as stated. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports, Lewis County Sheriff's Department.
Good evening. The June law enforcement totals. During the month of June, there were a total of 373 contacts, and that's a rough estimate due to some things that were going on. A total of 3 calls on shift, 8 calls when no one was actually in Vader, for a total of 11. And we had 20 traffic stops, 6 infractions, 1 criminal citation, and 1 physical custodial arrest for misdemeanor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice body cam.
Oh, there we go.
We need the rest of the East Street.
What's that?
We need the rest of the East Street.
No, the arrest was just a warrant arrest, but it wasn't on East Street.
Let's say if I could get a copy of that, we could put it online because you recorded the whole council meeting.
There we
Well,
go.
again, it's not flash magic.
All right, moving on. Item number 1, city business. Council to consider resolution 12-2022, the Civil West contract amendment number 5. So this is just to amend our current contract with Civil West so that they can, let's see, where is
It has to do with the time extension.
it? Right, yeah, it has to do with the amount of time that the project has taken. Obviously, there's been extended lead times on some equipment. For instance, the server, not the servers, the PLCs, the programmable logic controllers, for a lot of the equipment isn't supposed to come in until later in the summer. And also the issues with the liner some other things like that that took extra time. So the contract is for a little bit more time to complete the project. I believe there was one other thing on there. I didn't pack it, but I can pull it up right here. Stated online. There it is. Um, So another 30 proposed budget, a little bit more money for the extra time. Construction observation services. Budget.
I make a motion that we approve Resolution 12-2022 Civil West Contract Amendment number 5.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve contract amendment number 5. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Ms. Lovelady. Yes, since approving amendment number 4, weather, equipment, and supply chain issues have delayed the project completion. Therefore, the contract now must be amended again to extend the duration so that the consultant can continue to oversee the construction and serve as the owner's representative through the completion of the project. Civil West has prepared an amendment to the Phase 3 agreement, which is attached as this 5th agreement and is labeled as amendment number 5. This amendment number 5 is hereby incorporated herein by the reference as if set forth in full. So it's just time and the appropriate amount to cover that amount of time. Any other discussion on the topic?
No, it just has to be done, so it's not like we can not do it.
Should, and then
We could halt the whole project.
Project
and
and
then the
not have the
contractor,
last.
I'm sure, would fulfill their duties without any oversight.
Yes.
All those in favor of approving contract amendment number 5, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Council to consider Rogland's change order number 5 in the amount of $34,203.24. Civil West has reviewed their change order request for that amount. They do certify that it is warranted. It is still grant funded. That is in your packet. Added ductless AC unit to the chlorine building, added water service hookup for the ice maker, excavation, location of water lines and backfilling, supplying other sinks, a dewatering tray, temporary generator cost that they had to use down there for the pumps.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rent that until October so that the plant can run.
While we wait for the other equipment to show up.
Yeah.
We just need a motion for it.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 5.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve Ogden's change order number 5. We have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, council to consider Rogland's application for payment number 13. This is once again grant funded work for the wastewater plant. Civil West again has confirmed that all this work is done and meets their specs and that we can with confidence approve their payment.
Make a motion that we approve the payment number 13, not 5, right? Yeah, 13 for $130,450.97 to Rogland.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve Rogland's application for payment number 13. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Ms. Lovelady. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, council to discuss the 2023-2028 6-year transportation improvement plan program. So every year at this time, we present the next 6-year transportation improvement program. This is just a Growth Management Act requirement. So this is an opportunity for council to give input. We can make those modifications and then we'll send it off to the state for the ratification, which is just them saying yes. And then we'll have a public hearing at the next council meeting and then we can adopt it into our plan So take a look at it. The first two items actually are going to be removed because those two are going to be done next month. Those are the D Street from 9th to 11th and 8th Street from A to D. Those are part of the grant funded PIV chip seal work that's going to happen next month by county. And so those will come off the list. If there's anything that council would like to add, we can do that. Otherwise, we can leave it as stated. It's kind of a wish list. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it in this order. And you can do other things as well. It's just a plan.
Rough idea.
Yep.
A Street from 8th to 9th definitely needs to be done. That's probably one of the worst roads on there.
Yeah, 8th from 8th to 9th, 8th to 9th, and F from 8th to 9th as well are probably two of the main heavily trafficked and almost not a road anymore.
Yeah, they're just falling apart.
So I'm actually going to look for some estimates on those so that maybe we could do them this summer.
Yeah.
So these estimates, are these the same, just like 10th Street was? So it's one lane, or are these estimates for actually 2-lane roads?
At this price, they would be wider than 10th Street is. Because 10th Street was 1,000 feet and it came in around 20 or 25,000. So these estimates, if you see, they're for about 400 feet at even more money than that. So they could make them wider for that price.
Plus everything's more expensive now.
Everything is more
Yeah.
expensive as well.
I think that as we're going through this, if we make sure that we make the roads wider, because we were talking about widening like 10th Street and stuff like that. So we need to just, whatever we're doing new should be
wide.
legitimately wide.
Yeah,
We live
you
rurally,
can-
so.
You can see the problem on 10th. That's my property.
Mhm.
2 trucks can't
It
fit.
can't pass.
So they're always on the side of the road, sometimes getting in my driveway.
Yeah. We live in a blue collar community. Wider streets are better.
So that's all
Yeah.
my main concern is that we just do them
When they
when they
eventually
get done. Let's make sure they're wide enough. And
Mike wants to
But
lay down.
would that include, what about the transportation improvements, about stop signs? Like the stop sign is missing across, D Street on the other side of the freeway. It was a pretty bad shape, but now it's been knocked off.
D Street and
Right out on the highway.
506,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that on the school corner.
yeah, coming from north to south.
so on the corner of Ken's house,
Ken's,
Yeah.
yeah, right on the corner of Ken's house, correct.
so that stop sight's missing?
It's gone.
I know it was.
It was damaged at one point, because I remember seeing it damaged.
507 is what you're saying?
Yeah, being 506.
No, if we don't want to replace any of those, or if you see any missing,
Well, I
we
think
can order one.
also, we never had one on, East Street, corner of East Street in town, going south, coming around that corner. I think that's almost a blind corner. We need a stop sign, make people look.
Council wants to have more signs put up. We can just put them up, and then I think we've got a traffic revision sign we put up temporarily.
Well, I think one belongs there because, first of all, people come around that corner flying. There's no stop sign. And you go down East Street on dirt road, gravel, dust, but also coming around the corner, they almost run into the pole and the cable box there. Plus they can't see what's coming. a narrow street, right?
So they're taking a free left instead of stopping. They're not really.
Yeah. You're not looking.
There's no stop sign.
Yeah, so they
You're
just
gonna
go through.
put a stop sign there that would, at least the law-abiding people will think, give them a chance to look to see what's coming.
So you do 3 stop signs each
Well,
direction.
there is a stop
Yeah.
sign on
Yeah.
10th Street going on to E right now,
Oh, really?
but E doesn't have a stop
Okay.
sign. The only concern I have about that is if you get people stopping right there, it's too narrow
To pass by.
to pass by them, you know what I mean? Like if they stop right here, I wouldn't be able to turn onto E Street.
They'd almost have to pull off to the side and then let you turn.
Yeah. But-
Well, either way, you might have that issue.
Are you saying that E is not wide enough? No.
No.
So
E
the gravel
and
road.
10th, E
South
and
of
10th
10th
is a
gravel.
driveway.
Okay.
So like when for instance, when I pull out with my trailer, I gotta go just about on the lawn to get out. So,
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm not sure. I thought maybe stop sign would help you. Maybe.
And- well, the other thing is, I don't know if we can just put, which would help a lot, is if we put a work order in for Michael to weed eat. I run my mower down it, but there's a big gap between the fence
Yeah.
and 10th Street. And there's blackberry bushes there 6 to
Yeah,
8 feet tall.
I chopped some of them back, but
Might be a rent a goat
the
one.
ones that sitting in the street, I chopped back
Yeah,
on my side of the
Is
property.
that within the city right away or?
I
Yeah,
think it is
It would
because
have to be if it's right
is
at the
it-
fence, right?
I think it's
Almost.
Dave.
yeah. James, and then my side was also very bushes were coming over and I chopped.
His
them.
fence is, I think his fence is on his property.
His, yeah, well, yeah, his fence is on the other side of the trees. And I mentioned, why don't we get a logging company to pick those trees out?
Mhm.
And, yeah. Huge trees. I'm concerned about when they're falling in my house. I mean, they're huge.
But the blackberries to me,
Yeah, they.
I've
they're
driven-
bad,
They get crazy.
yeah,
Really bad.
So much rain here.
I spent
what's
I'll
that?
put in there for John.
Yeah,
a couple hours cutting them back myself. And my property and that corner of the lot, between E and F, I've chopped it very much back, hanging the road,
Don't kill the computer.
yeah.
even though it's on city right away and PUD right away.
Yeah, when the bushes aren't there though, and you're coming down E Street and you look down, my porch lights look like headlights, so it always slows me down. I'm like, oh, there's a car coming. Oh, wait, no,
No,
that's
it's
my
just my
porch.
I think, looking at this map, it looks like between the edge of 10th and Dave and Betty's property line,
Mhm.
there's 20 feet of city right of way.
Yeah.
Past the edge of the road.
Yes,
Yeah, the fence,
that's,
I think the fence is in the right place.
yeah, and I kind of remember Donna saying that 10th is on the line on the south side, but to extend it, it's going on the north side, which is what you just said, right? You can't look at those
10th
lines,
is
so.
kind of right down the middle of the right of way. So I'm thinking there may be 10 to 15 feet on the south side of 10th as well, that's still in the right of way. And the
Yeah.
right of way itself is, through there is
Pretty big.
45 feet wide. That's the right of way.
So that's big enough to make a 2-lane road, substantially.
So just to clarify, you're talking about the north side.
The north side of 10th,
With the with the large fir trees.
yeah.
And that
Looking
is
at
a
this,
hard spot to
It
see
looks
around.
like though, I would think At
We
the
need
base,
south side too.
the base of those trees are not, the trunks look like they are not in the right of way. So I think that those trees do not belong to the city. They certainly overhang into our right of way, but they're,
Well, they're on this,
Well-
that's all. I think they're on this.
I think if you expand that and look over at my property, that line you're talking about goes, or the line down a little bit more, goes through my shop.
on,
Yeah, go down more, like a little bit more. See how that line is? All those lines are shifted that
They're
way.
shifted
They're
away.
not, you can't look
They're
at
not
those
exact.
and say, oh, those are
On the money.
on the money, because,
I think you need to move your shop.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had them all surveyed and those are not on the money.
In any case, yeah, it looks like there's plenty of room in there to do some trimming and.
Yeah.
have a problem.
Make it more visible so no one gets hit for sure.
So, anyway,
They can do it both sides. Even though the south side's not bad, that would cut grass on it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this would be for this necessarily project, but everyone hauls as fast as they can right in front of that park. So I think it needs to get moved down to 15 in the downtown district and through the park. Because everyone's speeding through there, kids gonna get hit. A good place to sit if you want to catch someone. They're always right there, all times a day, 40, 50 miles an hour.
but anyway, Randy, yeah, your idea of stop signs, we can do that at any time, doesn't have to be part of the improvement plan.
Okay.
So we have some additions like that.
Doesn't have to be on.
Nope.
That was kind of the question. I'd like to see it done. Or something done.
Sure. Anything else, any input, if any of you had any input in the next, couple of days between now and Monday, let us know. But if not, we'll send it off to the state to get it approved and then we'll be done with it for the year. Okay. Just moving on to item number 5, council to consider Annan Road estimate repair cost proposal from Lewis County, $6,050. So if you remember, long drawn out ordeal, started with a public records request to understand who owns that section of Annan Road. I've reported out to council already that that Lewis County certainly has an obligation to maintain it, but the city of Vader also, as it is within our city limits, and it is of public interest to have a good maintained road in that area. The city can also expend funds to fix the road. And so the proposal from the city to Lewis County was a 50-50 split on the repair cost. County agreed, and they sent their road department out there, and they say that it's going to cost them $12,000 total to regrade the first 300 feet of Annan Road, bring in 30 tons of rock, and then put, I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 layers of chip seal on top of it to build a standard country road that you would see in the county, in that area. And so the city's cost would be $6,050. The city currently has a little over $4,000 held in reserve at the county from the STP funds. Those are the state gas taxes that all the cities get. And so we would only need to spend around $2,000 out of our general fund to pay to fix Annan Road.
Are they looking at any of the underground repairs through there?
They are not, but they are going to regrade it down to some type of base level and then bring it back up new rock. So
No, meaning like the sewer pipe, or not the sewer pipe, but the water pipe that runs out there.
they're not messing with any of that.
Should that be something that we do while they have it torn up? Instead of tearing it up again later?
Drain pipe?
Could,
Are you talking about sewer?
Water,
Not sewer.
water, right?
It'd be
Storm
water, because
That would be county's responsibility.
All the storm drain.
Stormwater.
Yeah, stormwater. Stormwater.
Oh, yeah, 'cause they have
Because
drainage.
Jason always has problems down there and Annan always gets toe up, that ain't, I'm thinking of Alabama,
Yeah,
sorry.
he's getting used to the slang.
I'm sorry.
Broken English.
We don't drop our consonants, we emphasize it.
Oh,
Sorry, Dan, you're gonna get this for a while.
but
Dixie.
anyway, through there, if we're going to need to be replacing any pipes through there, it would be best to do it,
Preventative versus having to rip it up later. It makes
yeah,
sense.
before it's
I guess.
done.
Sometimes fixing a pipe makes a difference with flooding.
It does.
We
I mean, they
know
would,
from experience.
yeah, I'm not sure, I have no idea how deep the pipe is, what condition it is.
Is that something before we do? Can John scope that again? Or that guy that goes around with John and get some
It
more?
would be Lauren,
Yes.
what's Lauren's last
I
name?
don't remember his last name. I remembered it was Lauren something.
Lauren Green? No, that's a different Lauren.
Besides that, it would also be nice if it is okay.
Everton Rural Water, that was the.
Yeah. And if it is okay, it would be nice to have a report that says it is okay instead of the issue we had on 8th Street where it was fine until a
Certainly would
backhoe hit it.
complicate the project because we would need to excavate
All the way down to the
in
pipe.
Burlington Northern's right of way.
Maybe it's already good through there, but we should at least check it out to see.
Send a camera through there and just kind of see what it looks like.
Okay.
Before we.
So I can give that information to John, see if he can get Lauren out here, see if they can scope it out and let us know what they think, at least in that cross section of the road where they're gonna do the work.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, can do that. We'll know.
So with that being said, I make a motion that we approve the Lewis County $6,050 to fix Annan Road.
So a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the expense for Annan Road repairs. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Lovelady. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Yeah, we'll look at that, see if we can get some scope and done on that. They may have already done it and they may already have an answer.
I just hate to find out next year that we have to cut the road up.
Okay.
Time, money, and hassle.
Item number 6, council discussed City of Vader employee scout salary schedule. So that was handed out to you at the beginning of the meeting here. So the way this works, and we've all seen this before, it's been in the annual budget every year. This salary schedule has on the far upper far left, it has each of the positions within the city, and then each step from left to right, 1 through 7. When an employee gets hired on, depending on their experience, we'll choose a step appropriate with their level of experience. And every year at their annual review, they can get promoted up the steps to max out at step 7. And so I just wanted council to look at this and think about it and think about the market in general lately, and you know what people at McDonald's and Home Depot and Walmart are starting out at, and their level of skill, and then we have our some of our clerks in the $16 to $18 range, and they're running a public utility.
Also, John is maxed out, he did last year, so he's not eligible for another raise
It's true.
based on that schedule.
John is at step 7. I think Bill is also at step 7, and so their raises would only come with a budget increase, say at the end of the year, like we did this year. During the budget season, we increased this table by 5% across the board. And so everyone on January 1st got 5% raise. So this reflects that. So now the question is, how does this compare with other cities? We did run a report. It's out of date by at least a year. The Association of Washington Cities puts it out, and you can look it up by city. And we're comparable to those numbers for other small cities. But we're quite a bit behind if you were to look at like Castle Rock or Napa Vine. Of course, they have a bigger budget than us, but that doesn't prevent somebody from going to work from them pretty easily. So if council thinks that some of these numbers should get moved up, we could put together a proposal on how that would affect the budget, and bring that to you at the next meeting. If everyone thinks it's okay, then we'll just leave it alone.
John's number is insanely low to me for what he does.
I think it's, to be honest with you, all of them in today's
Marketplace are
market.
obnoxiously low. You make almost more than this working at McDonald's.
I'm paying,
And you don't have to deal with people.
we're paying our carny assistants 20 an hour to sit there and take money, and I can't find anybody to do it for less than that. So I think we really need to look at this. Fortunately, I think that we've all been put in a situation where the inflation is going crazy, but there's nothing we can do about it here in Vader. We can try to help keep our people afloat.
And value our employees, like those wages are just insane for what everyone does. 2201 an hour.
And
what John does is-
when we hire employees, and I have this discussion too, the city tries to offer perks beyond pay. For instance, even our full-time employees, they work 4/10s. So everyone has Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. That's a perk that's worth money to always have a 3-day weekend, right? Government in general, the holidays. Get Mondays off all of the time. And then in our policy, even if the holiday falls on your day off, you still get to observe that on one of your work days. So say Christmas was on a Friday, well then everyone can take it off on the observed day. So there's lots of paid time off the city has. And also flexibility as far as work hours go. If someone needs to start a little earlier or a little later, we can work with that. And so we do offer some what they call in the industry work-life balance, which once again is worth something. But at the end of the day, you still got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we can adjust it either way. I mean, it's possible that eventually things will swing back the other way. As far as inflation, costs, and everything. Not immediately, but we can change that as needed.
Good. Yeah, council has, full authority to change this.
Particularly if we can't
any way
find
we want.
someone to fill the job.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, is if we have, which one is it, the billing clerk? Right?
Yeah.
That we're trying to fill right now. We can't find somebody.
But they're on the same page.
Yeah, if we can't find somebody to work for these, and so we end up bringing them in $1 less than our city clerk, I mean, that's not fair to the city clerk.
Yeah, it's almost gotta be a raise across the board.
When minimum wage, I don't remember exactly what it is, I think it's 14 something, 1468.
It's moving to 15 here pretty quick.
Yeah,
In June, I think it goes.
January went to 1468.
Was
And
it 15 then?
so all the employees need to go up to that. And your managers are, say, 15, and now all of a sudden all the employees are making basically the same amount.
I've seen that happen in that
Right,
company.
there, so then,
That's the argument of why you don't raise minimum wage. to
It's
$15 an hour.
14.49 right now.
14 to 40.
Minimum's 14,
2022.
14 and a half-ish.
so, I don't know.
But 15 minimum wage is coming.
Yeah,
It's already on the
should
books.
be going up again.
Which with inflation, I don't know how people are living off 15 an hour, so. I think they definitely need to go up. Like, I know I don't have much skin in the game anymore, but
You have just as much vote right now as everyone
yeah,
else
for
does.
now, but those wages are insanely low. Like, I wouldn't do John's job for 22 bucks an hour. No chance. He's out in the sun all day. No.
Now, John does end up making more than 22 an hour because he does fill in for Bill on the, doing wastewater work
Yeah.
throughout the week here and there. And so when he does that work, he gets paid at the wastewater operator wages? No?
No.
But like, for
Yes.
example, Cody was
No.
working
He
intertime.
used to, when we first started in 2020, he was paid 2 levels. And then we changed it to be 1 level and we increased that level up.
I forgot that.
But so like with Cody, when he was working at the warehouse, he was one of like the warehouse managers. The bottom tier workers were making 20 an hour in an air conditioned warehouse. And John's working outside for 22. I go inside for 20.
He's got a shaded tractor now.
Well, I'll trade a tractor. Unless you pop an AC
It's
in
not
there.
green,
It's not the same
baby.
thing. It's not green because I was name on the back.
I don't know, he's having so much fun in the tractor. We gotta charge him.
Tractor rides for everyone in town. We can make some profit.
Pay rides.
There we go.
So, well, if council sounds like interest in
They need to-
coming up with something, what, I mean, we could put something together if council has a feeling on where we should start.
It's gotta be a little bit on each.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being
Even,
a whole step.
And that's what we did during the budget, right? We
That
just
moved
5%
too.
increased all the numbers for an annual, call it cost of living if you want, but
Right.
inflation, whatever.
The way the schedule is set up, there is a 5% jump from 1 level to the other. So if you just scoot it up a level or
so
whatever you
between
wanted to do.
10 and 15% would be reasonable.
Well, or you could just, wipe out the bottom 2 or 3 steps and have, step 3 or step 4 be the new low.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
And then, the new step,
Would
the
then
new step
jump
6
in
and
that.
7 would then be increased the appropriate amount, something like that.
That would be extended out 5%.
Here's the almighty Google. Due to the current increase of cost of living, it's been predicted that the Social Security COLA for 2023 could be as high as 8.9% or even above. So the cost of living for 2023 is looking at 8.9% or more.
So then to be competitive, we need to go up 10%.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
Well, that would be 2 levels. That would be, that would be like getting rid of step 1 and 2 and starting at step 3.
I think if you want to get employees, it's what's going to have to be done now.
Which,
Maybe I'm wrong.
unfortunately, we need to figure out where the money is gonna come from. 'Cause
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can do that. We can put that proposal together. Obviously, it's probably going to require a budget amendment anyway, so I'll have to do that report so that council can see that and understand what that would do with the city, to the city's budget.
Yeah, where all that money's going to come from.
So,
It sucks, but it's gotta come from somewhere, so.
Okay. We can do that.
If anybody has ideas,
Shoot them our way.
give them to us instead of yelling at us later.
All right, well, no, I think we got a direction on that one, so. Moving on to item number 7, council to consider resolution 13, 2022, updating the savings account signers. So at Timberland Bank, we have a signer's card there with the deputy clerk vacancy. Her name was on the account, so that can come off of there. I believe the resolution is written in a more generic fashion. Is that correct, Diane? That way it doesn't, it says the deputy clerk will be on there. It doesn't say who it is, so we wanted to change it.
It does have the name on there. It
Who does it
doesn't
say
have the
this time?
deputy clerk on that
Right.
specific account, because we don't have a deputy clerk to do that. Unless we want to give Kristen sign authority. But the reason why we needed to go ahead and do this is we have the deputy clerk, we're going to have to release that money for the teenage. So the next meeting is 28th, so we need to do something now.
Yeah, this is the new savings account that was just opened up a meeting or two ago to hold the retainage for the Express Ironworks fencing company. And so just need to adjust the signers.
A motion to approve resolution 13-2022.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve resolution 13-2022. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Hall. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Lastly, on the agenda, item number 8 that we added, council to elect a mayor pro tem for the remainder of the 2022-2023 biennium.
Jason.
We can't do that. We can't.
I'd like it if it was somebody that, in my absence, was more than likely to be here to run the meetings.
I nominate Randy to be the mayor pro tem. Mike is never here. It's gotta be one of you two, so fight it out and figure who's doing it.
Mike has the speech power and the knowledge.
It's okay, I found the third too. It actually gets your
Right.
meetings done faster, it's worth it.
Well, I still have trouble. I think it's gonna be you, Mike.
I don't know that I'm not on the phone. There's the only thing I'm worried about.
Well, Joe's only missed like 3 meetings, 2.5 years. since I've done it.
And it's always during the summer.
Yeah, it's always during the summer when you're good. What? That was, yeah, because I.
What about Jason?
He's not going anywhere. Mayor Pro Tem is Justin or backup.
It's like if he misses a meeting, like last meeting, he was sick, right?
Well, and not only that, Mayor Pro Tem also has signing authority.
Signing authority and just certain
So
duties.
if I am on vacation and not able to sign anything, the Mayor Pro Tem can sign checks. If I'm absent, then Mayor Pro Tem can run the council meeting. If I resign, the Mayor Pro Tem,
Is the mayor.
The mayor.
Running away.
that's just a term.
It's just the term, someone's got to be the mayor pro tem for the next year.
Year and a half.
Okay.
It's term
In the
length.
case.
It's gotta be one of you two. It can't be Jason. I guess it could be Ann, but Ann's so new, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Why couldn't you do this?
Because Jason's work conflicts, at least unless you change the meetings, we'd have to change the meeting time for Jason to be mayor pro tem. And I would feel kind of bad making him mayor pro tem when he's not even here.
Well, but
We voted to.
if we have a need to have a meeting with the pro tem,
Tell me on the phone
Joe,
right now.
Mike, Joe won't be here. We're going on a day that Jason's here.
I have a question. if there were conflict, they needed the mayor from 10, and he couldn't be available that Thursday, can they change it to a special meeting?
Yeah.
And have it that Wednesday or something?
Cause Joe would be here.
Would that work? I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the rules on
I feel like you
special,
have notice for that.
special meetings.
That 24 hours notice maybe? It's some part of
I
notice.
mean, Jason is a life in Canada, cause he's been in the community a long time, he's in business. He really
You talking about
has
yourself?
them
I
out, Jason.
think you're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Before we voted Jason in, we would have to at least get him on the phone. Can we call Jason? I can't do that to Jason. Him as mayor of Temple. I can't do that to him. I can't do it. I can't vote him as mayor pro tem without him being on the phone at me. Someone call.
He is busy. I don't think we should call.
Okay, well, we can't do that. Can we? Jamie, he's gonna hate you.
I think you do a
I'm
wonderful job, Randy.
This is how everyone gets nominated for things in Vader.
I'm really not, don't have the knowledge and ability.
What if, by chance, this is just an idea, what if you did it just for the next week? And then you step down and someone else could step in, because you're gonna replace my seat anyways. As long as you find someone who would be confident and be able to do it, then whoever takes my position could step in as mayor pro tem, or maybe train Ann, maybe Ann won't do it. But temporarily what Mike did. Just for a few meetings. Yeah. If you did it for like a month, just to get Joe through summer. Just saying, that work.
What's the guarantee you're gonna be?
What is your,
Next meeting, you're gonna be in Montana or somewhere, you're gonna be something.
Yes, I'm not able to attend the 28th council meeting, 28th.
Yeah,
July?
It's in 2 weeks.
I technically still have my house, I can just fly
Okay.
back. but I
And
have my
then-
insurance.
And then August 11th, you're here? No?
No, would be pretty good, Scott.
Scott can't, he's not in city limits,
That's,
you're down south, right?
No.
Or,
Clark County Fair, and then September. And then September is all Florida.
It's just those two that I'm having issues with.
so,
Is the 11th?
Yeah, the 11th and the
could
August
we,
11th and July.
Can you reschedule
those
the?
minutes?
I had to look at that because I know that there's some rules with special meetings on the types of actions council can and can't take regarding
Any kind of legislation or something?
yeah, I think maybe the ordinances, I think we can't do on a special meeting.
Is there another
Not that we're
classification
expecting
of
ordinances.
special, but?
Can we just not have a meeting on the 11th?
You could have one meeting where you have to cancel, like happens.
With the vouchers and all that stuff.
So like, it would be the same thing as if we didn't have quorum, right? What would we do if we didn't have quorum and didn't have a meeting? Would it just get pushed back to the next week? How would that work? It would almost be the same thing, because you wouldn't, no one would be here to do it.
Yeah,
Or can we actually make a motion that, are you gonna be here on the 4th of August?
It would be second Thursday.
I know it is right now, but
Oh, you're saying we could do-
can we move the meeting like we do in December to either the 18th or the 4th?
could, then you could run it.
I could only run it if it was on the 18th.
We can move it to the 18th if we have to, I guess.
Well, my other concern is that, if I'm out of town, who's the second signer for the city for checks? It's not just the meeting.
Sorry, folks.
Well, and this,
I mean, I could always try to call in remotely and run the meeting.
through
That actually might be easier.
Through August, the furthest I'm gonna be is next week. So if it's an emergency, you have to, I don't know, come in late at night after the fair or something like that.
It's like me dropping in here at 10 o'clock at night on a Monday after work, all by myself. One of these days, the sheriff's gonna notice some guy come
Yeah, could I have?
wiggle in the door in the middle of the night, coming into City Hall. So,
You can act.
Sorry, everyone, just kind of the way our mood works.
no, it's fine.
I hate leaving everyone on the.
No, no, you're not leaving us in a bind at all.
No, we're, I mean.
We're just
You
need,
don't have the rest of the town. Everyone on my side.
someone else is gonna have to take on a little bit more responsibility.
Jason saying,
He's not gonna reply.
No.
Whatever we do, don't tell him until afterwards.
You know, all these big decisions council makes, and this is the hard one.
He's gonna do it.
If you think it would work, that's my only concern, is me not being here. But I don't know, can we do two? Mayor pro tem?
Well, and I guess that is another question that I'm not aware of too. I mean, who can run, does the mayor pro tem have to run the meeting? What if the mayor and the pro tem were both gone? Could another city council member step up and run the meeting in both the absence? I don't
I
know.
don't think so. I think at that point, the meeting would be canceled.
I think any city resident can be pro tem.
Yeah, we'll look into that and find out that, because it's a possibility. It could happen one way or the other. We even beyond this conversation, we could have both be absent. In any case,
I've heard that only a council member can be pro tem, just from my political friends, but
I don't care about doing it, I just, I'm worried about that situation.
well, at a minimum, then there would be someone localish that has signing authority if I'm away, so which is important.
Mr. Google telling us.
If we're all changing meeting day. When you do it, like,
State
some
law.
options.
Well, where are we at?
Do that search with an RCW next to it.
Did Mr. Google, I did my part.
We need it now, huh?
Yeah. To be fair, I gave everyone notice, so that's it. Okay. So if the mayor and mayor pro tem aren't here, then council shall appoint one of the council members as clerk pro tem. So that means they will have signed
Clerk.
clerk pro tem. So mayor pro tem, clerk pro tem. You have signing authority, it'll be the mayor pro tem, you can run the meeting through the internet. I don't know.
So someone nominating Mike for pro tem?
I nominate Mike.
Can I make him the clerk
Make-
pro tem?
Make it a motion, please.
Make a motion to nominate Mike Parsons as mayor pro tem.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall to elect Mike Parsons as mayor pro tem for the remainder of the 2022-2023 biennium. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Ms. Lovelady.
Oh.
Any other discussion?
You guys need to look into this
Yeah, we will.
clerk pro tem. Congratulations, Randy, in advance.
So,
Okay, all those in favor?
Talk to you, Mayor.
You say no, and there's no one here to sign some employee paychecks. You might have some.
You might have it right.
Yeah. Might have some issues.
Ticketing by your house.
actually,
All right, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor of Mike Parsons being mayor pro tem, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Got notes and everything here. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Mike Parsons,
I, Mike Parsons,
do solemnly swear that I will support
do solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially perform
and impartially perform
and discharge the duties
and discharge the duties
of Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Vader,
of Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Vader,
according to law and the best of my ability.
according to law and the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Way to step up.
Step up or crawl.
It's not that bad. Don't, it's not bad. A few meetings every year. Just learn the computer better.
Okay. Public comment.
Oh, good.
Any members of the public have anything to say? Hold their light.
Mike, yeah, he fixed my tractor for me yesterday.
All right.
Then came out.
Elected official comments.
So I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for having me. I know I kind of got thrust into this position, and like with every position in Vader, you kind of get pushed into it. But I enjoyed it over the last few years. Vader's been great for me and my family, and I'll miss everyone.
Who was that?
And I appreciate you volunteering in all the aspects that you did. From writing the Lewis County News to helping out with the park and the other Lions Club fundraisers and food drives, and of course, City Council and Mayor Pro Tem. You've helped out in a lot of ways while you've been in the community, and appreciate it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And the city has a certificate of appreciation. City of Vader expresses its sincere appreciation to City Council Member and Mayor Pro Tem Samantha Lovelady for her loyalty, hard work, patience, and dedication to her responsibilities as a council member. Thank you for your time and service. Let's go, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike, for stepping up.
Sorry.
I just couldn't. do
Got a
it.
farm.
I couldn't. In terms of why I'm like, too much forward.
You'll get another opportunity.
Oh, you will, I'm sure.
Any other council members have anything to say?
Thank you.
All right, hearing nothing else, this meeting is adjourned at 7:10 p.m. Thank you.